everyone, welcome back to the Strong Girl Goss podcast.
Hey guys, Miss Ja.
Episode number 5, we're on a roll, and today is all about overcoming gym anxiety and taking up space in the gym.
Yeah, so we think this is a really important thing to remember, especially at the start of your strength training journey, and everyone's been there. So we just thought we'd start nice and quick fire, get in some reminders about taking up space and why it's so important. So Jess, do you want to start?
Yeah, of course. So number 1, nobody is looking at you. I know it's super easy when you are feeling anxious, when you're feeling overwhelmed. And by the way, let's normalize that for a second. It is okay that you feel that way, and we all feel that way from time to time. It does not matter like how experienced that you are. Even myself, if I will go into a new gym environment and I'm not familiar with the kit or my surroundings, I'll still get that anxious feeling from time to time. So just remembering that for bullet point number 1. But no one is looking at you. Nobody's looking at you. It can feel sometimes like the whole gym is staring at what you were doing. If you were performing a new exercise for the first time, it can feel like eyes are really on you. And just remember that 9 times out of 10 is in your own head. And do you know what? If someone is looking at you, the chances are you're just inspiring them.
Or you've just got a really good outfit on.
And it's probably from Honor Active. Should be anyway.
Probably.
Not like Chrissy, if you're listening. Never. Then
If you're listening, hun.
Okay, number 2. Take it away.
All right. I think something really good to remember as well about those people who you think might be looking at you is they have all been beginners. Like, it is very rare you'll come across someone in the gym who's been weightlifting since the age of 5. Like, it's just not really a thing. Like, no one grew up doing that. Everyone was a beginner at some point, and they probably had to remind themselves of these points as they go. So I think it's important to think, okay, this person was in my shoes before, and actually if you stopped and like even had a chat with them or asked them where the barbells were or asked them how much this weighs, they'd actually be super, super welcoming, because I know that everyone who is experienced in the gym wants to help out those that are new to it.
Especially the people that are there for the right reasons. Like the gym community, fitness community is so welcoming, again, if they're the right people and they're there for the right reasons. So don't be afraid to ask for help. But everyone in that gym is paying the same membership. Like, just remember, it doesn't matter what weight that you are using. No one is more entitled than somebody else. So if, for example, you are using a squat rack and, I don't know, you're only using the barbell to begin with, but somebody comes over and like they want to use it because, I don't know, they're going to be putting 20 kgs on each side, just remember that you're just as entitled as them, and you are well in your right, to just say, actually, I'm using this squat rack. Like, take up space, own it.
I think that's something so good to remember, especially when you first start and you think everyone else is more experienced than me.
Yeah.
You know, they deserve to be using this more than I do. And it's like, no, I pay my membership for a reason. I paid to use this stuff just as much as you do. And I think it can be super easy if someone goes, oh, how many sets have you got left? To literally just freeze. Especially if you don't know really what you're doing. You don't know how many sets you've got left. You can be like, oh, no, it's fine.
Have you got a minute? And actually, you've only just started. Like, no.
And actually, it's like, just say, just take your time and just be like, I've got like 5 minutes. And most of the time they'll go, okay, and they'll come back.
Yeah. I think that's super, super important to remember.
Yeah. So I think just to remember, in a nutshell, everyone is there for the same reasons. Everyone is paying the same, and everyone's been a beginner. Everyone has been in your shoes before, and it's hard to remember that at the time. But I think once you get that into your head and start remembering that as you go into the gym, it does become a much more comfortable space to be. Now, talking about being comfortable and being confident, we're going to move on to kind of our tips to help you feel your best and overcome gym anxiety when you're in the gym.
Yeah. So starting off with, like, it's okay to ask people a question. And I feel like it can just be so easy to put yourself in a box and work yourself up, feeling anxious. But if you just, 9 times out of 10, if you just ask somebody, oh, excuse me, would you be able to show me how to use this? Or do you know what this barbell is, for example? Or the J hook. I don't know about anyone else. If I go to a new gym and I'm not familiar with a squat rack, those hooks, oh my God, they get me flustered. So like, just again, being able to have the confidence to just say, would you be able to show me how to do this? Or would you be able to help me move this? Whatever it is, do not be afraid to ask for help. And maybe that's like fellow gym goers around you. Maybe that is a personal trainer or a coach or somebody who works in that environment, especially the people that work in the gyms, because that is what they are there for and that's what they're getting paid for. So make sure that you make use of them and just ask any questions that you've got. I know it can be uncomfortable, but honestly, they actually probably really want to help you. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a trainer or someone just training themselves, they would actually probably feel really privileged if you just ask them the question.
So true. And I think as well, opening up that conversation in the gym, where in a lot of gyms, people are just there with their headphones in. I think that can be intimidating in itself. Just starting that conversation and being like, oh, that's actually a normal person. It can just like break that barrier of that intimidation. And then when that person, maybe you think they're looking at you the next time, they're just checking if you're okay or whatever it might be.
Maybe they just want to be a new gym friend. Who knows?
We love a gym friend. Right, moving on. So I think it's really important to just take the pressure off yourself. I think you can really put a lot of pressure on, going to the gym however many times a week and for however long, but that's actually just going to put you off. And I think removing that pressure and just saying, okay, I'm going to go in today, I'm going to do 10 minutes, or I'm just going to do my warm up and see how that makes me feel. 9 times out of 10, you're going to stay for the whole session. And if you do end up going home, exactly. In that 1 times out of 10, you do go home. That is absolutely fine. And I think we need to normalize that a little bit because it just helps you get in the door and builds that habit.
Yeah. And if you are if you find yourself umming and ahhing, getting yourself to the gym because you are feeling anxious, again, get yourself there, remove the pressure, set yourself a time frame or set yourself a little goal of, I'm going to complete one exercise and then give myself permission to go home if I do feel like I want to. That's just going to help you break that barrier down and get yourself there. Maybe you could get yourself there and go on something you feel totally comfortable with. Maybe that is the treadmill. Maybe that is going over to the treadmill, putting a podcast on, getting your favourite tunes on, getting yourself warmed up and walking, and then seeing and reassessing how you are feeling. And then maybe moving on to the first exercise and giving it a go. So remove the pressure, just try and make it easy for yourself. Get yourself there and do things that make you feel more comfortable. Don't just throw yourself in the deep end is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think the treadmill thing is a big one as well. Like starting your workout with something that you feel super confident on, something you feel familiar with, can then be like, actually, I'm bored of this now. What can I do next? Yeah. Or like, actually, I've been here for 15 minutes. Let's go and do something else.
Maybe jumping on a treadmill or something as well. It gives you a chance to just overview the gym. How busy is it? Where is the kit that I want to use? Is anybody using it? And just do you know what I mean? And just mentally prepare yourself. So that's definitely a tip that I give clients as well. If they're feeling anxious, get yourself on something you feel comfortable with and just watch your surroundings and just, figure things out and see how you feel. Do not need to put that pressure on yourself. But moving on to our next point is have something you can follow. And I think this kind of goes hand in hand with the last tip. Again, you're on that treadmill, you're getting yourself mentally prepared. You're looking up at maybe it's an app that you've got on your phone. Maybe it's a programming that a coach has programmed for you. Or maybe it's like a physical note that you've wrote or like a workout log, a version. But on that treadmill, you are going through, okay, what am I doing? You're familiarizing yourself, reminding yourself of a plan. And you are going there with that structured plan. And it's just going to remove that, where do I go? What should I go on? What machines are free? Because you've got it there black and white and it's going to just help guide you and honestly just remove all of that stress. Honestly, if more people just followed a structured workout plan, they wouldn't give the gym up so easily because it just becomes A, more enjoyable, but B, so less overwhelming.
Agreed. And going back to that thing about, how many sets have you got left? I need to use this equipment. It's like, well, actually, my program says that I have 3 sets left, so you can't use this. I'm using it. That confidence to be like, a professional has written this for me, whether it be a coach or, like you say, off the internet or whatever it might be, or Chat GPT these days. Like, having the confidence to know that someone's written this who knows what they're doing. I'm doing it, therefore I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, it is. It's that confidence. Yeah. And it makes a huge difference. So try and have something to follow and ask for help. Now we're talking, maybe you do have a coach that's online. Maybe you've connected with someone on Instagram or maybe you've got a gym buddy, like having someone there that you can just ask questions. And even if that is just a friend, like, do I look like I'm doing this right? Maybe you've got a YouTube video up and you're following that and you're getting your friend to assess your form or something. Being able to ask somebody for help makes all of the difference. And if, again, you're not in a position where you feel comfortable to ask maybe gym staff or somebody else, like making yourself a friend with you to the gym or having a coach who is literally accessible on the other end of the phone for you, that's just going to make the process so much more enjoyable for you and less stressful.
Yeah, definitely. And I think a really important one is just keep it simple. Like, if you are in doubt, you don't know what to do, grab yourself a pair of dumbbells and just head to the corner of the gym. Head to somewhere where you feel comfortable. And, you know, if you do have that plan that you're following, or if you have written yourself a couple of exercises that you know you want to complete, you know you've got those 2 dumbbells, you've got a space where you feel comfortable, and you don't have to necessarily go to the squat rack or use the leg press machine, which can be quite intimidating if you've not used those things before. It's just finding kit that you feel comfortable with and slowly progressing out of that.
Yeah, and it's difficult because obviously we're going to be biased because we do this for a living. But genuinely, if you are somebody who has no experience and you do get so anxious going into the gym, allow someone to do that programming for you because they know what level you are at. They know how you are feeling. They've seen it time and time again. They can make sure that they're not asking too much from you and the expectations are realistic. So that might be starting with the dumbbell area in the gym, getting super confident there, then progressing to things like the barbells and the weighted machines. So it really is just about, if you are in a position to invest in knowledge, that is where you are just going to remove that anxiety completely and really just boost your confidence. And when I'm talking investing in knowledge, again, maybe investing in a coach right now is not something you are able to do. Then take time and sit on YouTube, do your research, learn your exercises, try and teach yourself as much as possible. Anyone around you who's maybe got experience, maybe you've got a friend who's been going to the gym for a few more years than you, just really invest in knowledge. That is the biggest thing that I can say for reducing anxiety. The more that you know and the more confident you feel with what you are doing, the less anxious you will feel.
I feel like I want to tell a story to wrap up. Like, yeah. I had this client who, she felt really uncomfortable going to the squat rack, and using a barbell was like a lot. And we were like progressing, like you were just saying, like having that person there to like start really simple and just progress to feel confident. And she sent me a video the other day of her at the squat rack, which, first of all, she was at the squat rack and she sent me a video. 2 massive wins in the gym. But I was like, I know how nervous you would have been to go over to that squat rack and start filming yourself on your phone to send to your coach. But if I was in the gym with you, I would have just looked at you and thought, oh my gosh, her form's really good. Like, so it just goes to show that you don't know what people are thinking. Having that reminder that you literally look like any other person in the gym is really important.
Yeah, and you should be taking up space, which is obviously what this episode has been all about. We understand it takes time to build confidence and to really limit that anxious feeling that maybe you are feeling now. But over time, it will go away. And hopefully these tips have just been helpful for you to just put into practice, even if it's only one or two of them, and just see what a difference it makes. And also, our DMs are always open. If anyone is listening to this and you want to ask us a question, come and find us over on Instagram. We'll have our handles below so you can go and drop us a message. If you are feeling anxious, just know that there are people there that do want to support you. But please, and leaving this on this note, don't just completely give up the gym and stop going because you feel anxious. That feeling will go away. A little reminder, we have all been beginners once. You've just got to start. Throw yourself in the deep end and you're going to be fine.
Definitely. Start small and just get it done.
But thank you so much, guys, for listening to episode number 5. As always, we've got so many more coming your way. And if there's anything that you want to see, make sure you do let us know.
Thanks so much for listening, and we will see you in the next episode.